So Donna, I hear we have a very special video today. We're going to be discussing what documents do you need in order to make Aliyah. Am I accurate?
Exactly, absolutely. So,
Wow.
look, I'll tell you what. We all know that immigration to any country goes through a bunch of bureaucracy and paperwork and whatnot, right? And some countries make it a little bit harder than others. And since we are the Jewish land, why not let's make it hard to get, right? Just the same as our whole
Yeah,
Jewish history.
yeah,
Um,
that's why we have to make all these videos, right? Because nothing is easy.
Right. So actually, I hope that by the end of this video, you have it more clear as to what kind of documents to gather to get started. Either if, like, whether you're going to do the process through Nefesh Benefesh or through the Jewish agency, the Shaliach, or at the Ministry of Interior when you are here in Israel. There's a bunch of different documents that you need. This is a very general list because afterwards the authorities can be asking for more specific documents according to your specific situation and unique situation. So don't make sure that you know that you can possibly be asked for more documents. But let's dive into it, okay? So the first thing that we know that we need is a passport that has to be valid for at least 1 year. Then we need copies of all of the pages of our passports, right? We afterwards need 3 to 4 passport pictures, and there are specific sizes and backgrounds and so on and so on. That actually, if you need more information and more details, don't hesitate to schedule a call with me and we'll go over it more in detail. Another thing that we need is actually a letter that explains your current status in your country and that proves your interest to become an Israeli citizen, right? So, what are your motivations for making Aliyah? And here I want to give a useful tip. This is not only about explaining, your dream and your Zionist feelings and so on and so forth. It's also about providing any kind of document that can support this. It would be useful, for example, to bring a proof of family living in Israel if you have, relatives, proof of assets that you can have invested in Israel, if you have business partners, or if you have any kind of property, if you have a bank account. A lot of Jewish people have got a bank account over here in Israel, excuse me, and other different things that you can show that you're moving the center of your life towards Israel, and you've been building this up for a few years. Another of the documents, so now I want to cover a bunch of documents that are going to need to be in an original copy, okay, with an apostille. Apostille is the stamp of the government that has issued that document to say this is an original document issued by this government and it is approved to be used abroad. It is not a notarial translation or certification or any kind of signature. It's apostille. That's specifically the authorities of your issuing country. So if you were born, for example, in I don't know, Switzerland, then say your birth certificate has to be apostilled by the Swiss authorities. Say you grew up in a different place than Switzerland, then your other documents are going to be apostilled by the other government. So that is family book,
Oh,
birth certificate, your proof of Judaism, and that is, I want to go in depth with this one because it's one that I have found to be a lot problematic for people. So this is a letter that is redacted, signed and written by, and so when I say signed, is an original copy. So we have to see the ink. Actually, it cannot be a photocopy, cannot be a scanned letter, and it cannot be a digitally signed letter. It has to be by a recognized synagogue rabbi or from the rabbinical organization. There's a list of rabbinical institutions that are recognized. If you want that too, then please contact me. And then, so what it would be is a rabbi that knows you and knows you to have been involved in the community, in the Jewish community, recognizing that your family are Jewish, you were born to a Jewish mother, and and he's testifying your connection to the Jewish community. Now, I'll say something. Not everybody knows and has access to that kind of rabbi and letter. So the other way of going about it is providing a letter that in which a rabbi that doesn't know you personally, when you bring him the documentation showing that you are Jewish, right? So you have to go back towards your previous generation's documentations. He testifies that according to the original copies of documents that prove your Judaism, Judaic origins, then he will testify that you are Jewish according to the documents. He doesn't know you personally, but he's seen your documents. So that is that. Then we have conversion certificates. If it's the case that you converted and you're coming to Israel because now you're under the law of return, if this is applicable, there's a bunch of different documents that have to support that conversion. And that's also something that we can go into depth if you need so. It's also a very sensitive issue over here in Israel, something that you need to overcome. Sometimes lawyers need to get involved, and for that we work with a team of lawyers as well that specializes in this topic. Then we have the marital status certificate. So you have to both bring the civil certificate, right, and the ketubah. Ketubah is a way of also proving your Judaism status, your proof of Judaism. And then the last document, I hope this is not too long and too tedious, but the last document is the identity history summary checks. What is that? It's essentially your criminal records. Criminal records usually can be produced by the police of a country or by the government of a country, and we're looking for the government and not the police ones. The government is the one that is going to also stamp the document with an apostille, and that's the one that we're looking for. Now you have to bring those criminal records for every country that you've lived in more than 1 year from the age of 14 years old. So for a lot of Jewish people, that's a bunch of different authorities and countries to go to and deal with. And it's a little bit of a whole process, right? You don't live in those countries anymore, but you lived in the past. And so that's something that you need to request. For any kind of assistance, we also know how to do that remotely and a little bit easier than it usually is.
Oh, is that it?
Well, as I said, this is only the basic list. And when you have special situations, you might be requested to provide some more documents.
Well, thank you very much, Donna. I appreciate it. And this has been very, very educational. And if anyone wants to get their hands on a checklist of all the things you need in order to make Aliyah more in detail, specific for your needs, please reach out to Donna. Her info will be posted in the description below. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and any other suggestions for videos, please post in the comments below.
Yes, thank you, Ariel. Bye.